This is the oldest road in Europe. It's the Ridgeway, the path that follows the top of the Chalk Downs from Swindon to Dunstable right across southern England. But today the peace and tranquility of this ancient road is being shattered by controversy over who should be allowed to use it. Should motorcyclists and four-wheel drive enthusiasts be allowed on the Ridgeway, or should it be reserved for walkers and horse riders? It's an argument that's been around for years, but proposed new traffic orders from the Countryside Commission have brought matters to a head, and all the interested parties are anxious to get their views over before any changes are made.
Our problem is that we have, in Great Britain, I think the figure's about 120,000 miles of unsurfaced rights-of-way. That's footpaths, bridleways, and what this is, which is a road used as a public path. Of those 120,000 miles, we actually have vehicular rights over somewhere about 4,000 miles of them. That's the only amount that we can actually use. With the increasing pressure on the countryside, with other amenity groups, farmers, etc., we do find that a lot of these RUPPs, roads used as a public path, are being downgraded to perhaps bridleways or even footpaths, which means we can't use them anymore.
Why do motorcyclists like riding the Ridgeway so much?
It's seen as the best green road in England. It's very long. There's 40 miles of vehicular rights over it. People come from a long way away to walk it, horse ride, cycle, motorcycle. I've come from Newcastle upon Tyne, 300 miles before now to ride on it. It's so attractive. The downland is a beautiful place to be. 3 or 4 years ago, the motoring organisations and the Countryside Commission agreed a voluntary code of conduct whereby people kept off the Ridgeway on summer Sundays and summer bank holidays, when obviously it's popular with walkers. Common sense for everybody. The trail riding groups and the all-wheel drive people have codes whereby they only travel in small groups when they're out on green lanes, 3, 4, maybe half a dozen at the very most motorcycles, and they keep down to low speeds, no more than 25 miles an hour, very slow when they're passing walkers, stop, switch off engines when they're passing horses, generally behave like any normal civilised person.
So if the bikers are such a responsible lot, who's causing ruts like these? The bikers claim they don't.
I know we don't. The surface of the Ridgeway is damaged from time to time by agricultural vehicles, but then agricultural vehicles have a right to be on it. Another point I'd like to make is that this is a road, and if it is damaged, then someone should put it right.
So who is that someone who should be maintaining the surface?
It's partly the Highway Authority and partly the landowner, because the Ridgeway is privately owned. We must remember this. The farmers own it, and there's a public right-of-way across it. So the farmers are basically responsible for overhanging vegetation, and the Highway Authority for vegetation growing up from the surface.
But if the vehicles are kept off, there's little doubt with spending restrictions that the paths will get hopelessly overgrown, not just for walkers, but for horse riders too.
What we do object to is people who misuse them at the wrong time when the weather is not suitable, and therefore they churn the whole thing up for everybody. A four-wheel drive tractor or four-wheel vehicle that isn't driven by somebody experienced will get stuck and will churn up ruts that get deeper and deeper and deeper. And then that is very uncomfortable for everybody concerned.
There's a sign here that says no wheeled vehicles. Does that mean pony traps?
If it is, I think it's a disaster. It should be no motorised wheel traffic, if anything, because we certainly do drive on great stretches of the Ridgeway.
The Countryside Commission has asked the Secretary of State to make an order keeping vehicles off the Ridgeway on summer Sundays and bank holidays. But the Department of Transport has asked for more information before they take action. So this summer, all eyes will be on the Ridgeway.
If you ban access, the only people you will stop are the reasonable people who will obey the law anyway. The hooligans will still come. You can't close this road. I hope that they will see sense and that the Secretary of State will tell them to come back and talk to us. We're ready to talk. The county councils prefer negotiation. The Ridgeway officers prefer negotiation. It seems a great pity to force a virtually unworkable law on people who have tried the hardest to fulfil.
Now, for any motoring enthusiast, the name Maserati is synonymous with high performance and classic Italian styling. Over the past few years, unfortunately, the name has become somewhat tarnished, but now there's a new Maserati to carry that famous trident symbol. We decided to test the Spider version, the open-top version, against a British sports car of similar price and performance, the Lotus Esprit Turbo, now with a new high-compression engine. Sue Baker was in the driving seat.
The very first thing you notice about driving the Maserati is that wonderful growly engine sound. It really is a beautiful noise to be driving behind. It's a lovely interior to be sitting in as well, this tan leather with suede set into it, with the briar wood on the dashboard, lovely little details like the Maserati name set into it in marquetry and that classy little clock. Very clear instrument layout with those nice dials, 7 of them sitting there. The gearbox is excellent, a really sweet change. Slightly unusual layout with a dog leg first and then the other ratios grouped together. It does mean that the 5th to 4th change, which is the one you most commonly want for overtaking, is very convenient. A couple of little faults. I think it's very strange that the car in this price range doesn't have a standard radio, and the 2 door mirrors are very difficult to see into. The glass area is too small. But those details apart, I think it's a glorious car to drive. The heart of the Maserati is a lusty twin-turbocharged engine, hence the name bi-turbo. It's a 2.5-litre, 6-cylinder, 18-valve motor, and its potential top speed is around 135 miles an hour. More important, though, to owners in this country will be the very lively acceleration. It's around 6.5 seconds from stationary to 60 miles an hour. Fuel consumption, though, is rather on the heavy side. Don't necessarily expect high-performance cars like these to be practical, but in fact this one is. It has a really good-sized boot back here, room for 2 average-sized family suitcases, a lot of other oddments besides, and there's room for more luggage behind the front seats, because although it looks like a 2+2, it isn't, so you can get a big suitcase in there. And that, of course, is because the engine is here at the front. It's a very squashed engine compartment, not much room in there, but the sort of people who buy these cars don't want to do their own maintenance anyway. But that's where the Lotus differs. It has its engine at the back. There it is, even more squashed in space than in the Maserati, and it leaves a tiny amount of room behind it for luggage. You can get 1 small squashy suitcase in there and not a lot else. In fact, it's about half the boot space of the Maserati. A few more oddments can fit in the front, but it's only a pure 2-seater. The essence of this car, though, is all about performance. It's a very quick car, this Turbo Lotus, and it feels it, especially in the vivid acceleration, which seems to shove you in the back, with a 0 to 60 time of 5.5 seconds. The top speed is more than double the legal limit. This new higher compression Lotus's power output is 215 brake horsepower, which is a really big belt of power from a 2.2-litre 4-cylinder engine. It's a little less thirsty than the Maserati, and it comes with a 2-year warranty against the bi-turbo's 1 year. Inside the Lotus, it feels a bit as if you're in a racing car cockpit. It's quite claustrophobic, everything's hugging in around you, the controls are all wrapped around in front, and you sit very low on the road. Other traffic all seems higher up. The view through the rear mirror is really very poor, you can't see a lot, and although there's oceans of beautiful leather in this car, it's £1,000 extra on the price. Location for cars like these is a Riviera yacht basin. Well, this is the sort of setting where they might find themselves in Britain. They're both very glamorous cars, but very different in character. The Lotus is the more macho machine with superb supercar handling. The Maserati has very similar performance, but a more versatile feeling car, and I think it's a very worthy machine to bring back the famous Maserati name to Britain. To sum up, the Maserati bi-turbo Spider has a 2.5-litre engine. Its insurance group is 9, and the price, £28,795. The Lotus Esprit Turbo HC has a 2.2-litre engine. Its insurance group is also 9, and the price is £25,980, but the extras on our test car would add another £2,000 to that.